On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we've got a fun one for you. We had to go rescue a car. It's Eric's sister's car.
No, I'm not here. You call and leave a message.
What is going on, guys? I am WatchJRGo, and today, like I said, we are here in this 2019 Chevrolet Equinox, and all I know is that it won't start. So I heard they were out here trying for a while. We think the battery's charged, at least from the pre-troubleshooting here. And now we've got the remote, so we're gonna step on the brake and try to start it for the first time with you guys, so you can see what's going on.
I'm laughing when it starts.
Watch it, it will start. Oh, that sounds terrible. Oh, did you hear it catch?
Yeah, he said it was trying to start last night. It acted like it wanted to.
Come on, girl. That's the crank limit right there. What did it crank for? 20 seconds?
Somewhere in there.
That was
How many miles are on it?
It can't be much, right?
Could be 60.
66,000 miles, and it's completely DED. All right, well, we do have a check engine light. Let's start by getting the scanner hooked up to this thing and see what it thinks is wrong. I think this is that 3.6 LFX. Could be a 4-cylinder, though. If it's an LFX.
I think it's a 4-cylinder.
All right. Well, hopefully it doesn't need timing chains.
It's too small to have a 6-cylinder in it.
It does seem pretty small. It's no Traverse.
That is true.
But the old Equinoxes had the 3.6.
Ecotech.
Oh, look at that. That's a great engine. Yeah. Nothing should ever go wrong.
Doesn't have I'm about to drop that hood.
I was going to say. No hood struts. No. They were bad. All right, well,
They don't exist.
Let's do that one check. Why is that like gooey? You see that?
I can't see it.
It's like, it just needs changed.
Yeah.
I thought I saw a little bit of a emulsified goo on there, but
unfortunately she didn't get the unlimited warranty.
Oh no. It is the turbo 4-cylinder, so. Well, let's hook the scanner up. Hopefully it's a crank or a cam sensor.
That's what I was thinking when he initially called me, but I was like, you know, we have a tool that'll tell us this a lot quicker than we are.
We sure do. Let's get it. All right, guys, we've got the scanner connected, and we found a couple codes so far. It is still scanning here. All right, this is pretty interesting. The codes are P0171, P0172, and P1400. Fuel trim system lean and fuel trim system rich.
It doesn't know what it is.
You tell me, dog. So, and then cold start emission reduction control system, which is interesting. Both of these seem to be current codes. I mean, we can clear them, but it seems like it's a dead fuel pump, low pressure fuel pump, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and clear the codes. Reading code, clear. Okay, cool. We have the codes cleared. Let's try to crank again. I don't want to exit. Actually, before we try to crank, I do want to see. Over here, we'll jump in the ECM. This is an automatic. You can get this in a manual? Why would you ever? Manual Equinox, so you can go tear up the track, I guess.
It is a race car.
It is a race car. Hey, look at that. Fuel system data. The codes now, or the live data is separated into sections. You think it's 2-wheel drive? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Probably 2-wheel drive. Pretty, okay, cool. Fuel rail pressure sensor, 10.9 millipascals. Here we go. Desired fuel pressure. We're close. So the fuel pressure sensor during crank, we have 438 kilopascals. Desired is 435, so I would say we're like obviously dead on. And then the rail pressure sensor is 10.8, and we're looking for 9.7. Ethanol content 10%, so right on the money. It's not like we're seeing a bunch of water or anything like that. How on earth is this not starting? I don't see anything in here out of the ordinary. It's full of gas. It tried to start there for just a moment.
It did.
Come on, stop starting. We went ahead and drilled down into the active test on this thing, and we're on the fuel pump enable, so let's take a quick listen. Sounds perfect. It starts low, pitch comes up as the pump's loading up. It's clearly running. So we do have a fuel pump. Data shows that we have everything we need. This is interesting. You can depressurize the fuel system. What if we dump the fuel into the cylinders and then start the car?
Yeah,
I'm not against it.
Maybe.
It's probably going to fail. Conditions not met. It checks everything. It wants to know if the parking brake's set. It wants a whole bunch of... Oh, you have to start the engine too. That's cool. You start the engine and it dumps all the fuel in. I would be doing some mechanic work if I could get this connector off. But this is the one connector that's got me.
You're the connector guru.
I know, but this one is weird. I released the lock. I squeezed. I wiggled. Nothing happened. Hey, there it is. Okay. We're hoping that's the intake cam position. And of course it does have exhaust cam position somewhere, but they bolted the cover onto this thing, which is upsetting, and you need a T30 to pull it. We didn't plan on like doing work. I thought it was gonna start. So we don't have a T30 on us. Let's see. Here's fuel. I mean, we're basically sure we have fuel pressure, but I don't see a Schrader I can get to easily. So let's try without intake cam position. I hope that's what that is. Engine power is reduced. It already says that.
Oh no.
It's weird that it cranked like twice as fast.
Yeah.
Let's try it again. That first cam sensor I pulled was definitely the exhaust side. Obviously the turbo was sitting there. What was I thinking? So now I pulled the intake side. Let's see what happens. It actually looks like those were the control solenoids and not the sensors, but we can't see anything with that cover on the engine. We pulled the cover off the engine and we unhooked the intake position sensor and the exhaust cam position sensors, and we tried both combinations. We tried one or the other, and then we tried unhooking both, so it would only have crank to rely on. Sometimes when you have a timing chain issue, yeah, there's nothing wrong. Why is there nothing wrong?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's all.
Now we have 6 faults after doing all of our troubleshooting back and forth, but their intake camshaft position sensor unplugged, or circuit, and exhaust camshaft position sensor circuit, which we had all that unplugged. So we're gonna clear the codes again. Okay, hold on, clear the codes again. No codes. Turn the jump pack back on for me, Eric.
Yeah.
We had it started.
It's the override, right?
Yes, hold override. We had this thing started, and it did not sound good. It sounded terrible. What on earth, dude?
No idea.
It makes no sense. It started.
You ready? Yeah. Oh, stop. It's not spraying out very hard at all. But yet again, here.
It doesn't move a lot of volume, though.
That's what I'm wondering.
Guys, we were seeing on the rail the desired fuel pressure was matching exactly. Oh my God.
That is the most ridiculous start-stop button I have ever experienced in my whole entire life.
Dude, I don't know if you noticed, but when you hit start, it doesn't put the ignition in run.
Yeah.
So then I hit run again, and then the cluster boots up while it's cranking.
Yeah, that's nothing like it.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
What a weird deal.
But I mean, it's bringing.
There's plenty of fuel.
Okay.
It was fogging fuel out.
Well, I just didn't know if it should be shooting out faster.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we know it's not a rail pressure issue here. There's more than enough. Yeah, give that a little snug for me. Well, we tried everything, and we're all out of idea. That looks pretty snug to me. You got her. That ball joint doesn't take too much.
No, it wasn't on there very tight at all.
What a weird deal, guys. We've checked every fuse in the car. We reseated every connector on the ECU. We've checked intake and exhaust cam position sensors. The only thing we haven't been able to do is crank position. We also tried to start it without the MAF hooked up. And not only that, but we pulled the boot off the air filter so that we wouldn't have to deal with, maybe something got sucked up in there. Clearly, no problems there. We've literally checked everything there is on this except for like coil packs, but none of that makes any sense. It has 60,000 miles.
Yeah.
This is weird. Definitely one of the weirdest things we've ever run into. It's timing chains. It doesn't make any sense. But just the way it does it, it just seems like a timing issue. And then it tries to start, which is usually when the chains are flapping around. I've just seen it too many times, and it always seems like it's timing. And neither of us wants to pull this engine apart tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to pull the engine. It's not a fun job. It's an engine pull. Well,
but can we check the other sensor that we haven't been able to check?
Crankshaft position. I would love to check crankshaft position more than anything, but we're gonna have to get it on a lift, and we're gonna have to pull the under tray. I mean, actually, the under tray looks like it's missing.
Oh, I assume it is. The roof rack's gone. They put covers on.
Well,
the roof rack used to be.
If we can get a jack, I bet I can unplug crank position. And we still don't like this, guys. There is like oil and water, some kind of goo up here on the throttle body, and that's just been hanging out in there. It's not the fuel that just sprayed out. All that fuel went straight back to the firewall. It's the firewall soaked. Hope it doesn't start. I actually hope it doesn't start for a while.
Well, yeah.
Let's jack it up. If we can pull crank position, we might have a bit of hope here. I sure don't think it's either of the solenoids. There's really nothing else to check. If we had a stick, we could check the DI injector connectors. Yes. They're so deep, you have to either pull the coils or push down with a stick. As you can see, the sun is going down after a good hour and a half of troubleshooting on this thing. First, we're running out of light, we're running out of heat. It's getting cold quick. The temp just started falling like a rock. So our hands are freezing out here, and we've thrown in the towel. We pulled the coils, obviously reseated everything. We reseated every connector to the DI injectors, reseated the DI harness, reseated all the coil packs. Also, the spark plugs on this are something smaller than a 5/8, and I don't have a socket that doesn't neck down, so I couldn't pull a plug. Unfortunately, we were just kind of stuck on the spark plug situation there. So we tried everything. I really think it's timing. Terrible to hear. If it is timing, it's super unfortunate because it's probably an engine on this thing. Maybe we can figure it out. I'll go see if it's interference. We don't know. And we'll go see what a timing set costs. But we already know that an engine costs like $1,200. So it seems like something easy to just buy an engine, drop the subframe, throw it in, and get it right back on the road, which might be the route we're going on this thing. Who knows? Eric's sister bought this thing like 6 months ago, and now here it is, you know, toast. Unfortunately, 2019, 60,000 miles, it shouldn't be possible. It shouldn't be possible to have timing chain failure, so I'm gonna look into it a little bit more. If you guys in the comments have run into a no-start condition on an Equinox like this before, let me know what happened to yours. I Googled it, checked all the other videos, saw some nonsense like the ECU connector was unplugged. It's not possible to unplug those cam lock connectors. Never seen a failure in my life. So I reseated all the ECU connectors just because. And obviously it wasn't that. They all were making excellent connection, all plugged in. We've checked every connector on the engine. We've unplugged and tested every sensor, solenoid. There's really nothing left to do except crank position. So we did jack the thing up and we couldn't find a way to get to the crank position sensor easily, so we need to get it on a lift. So that is where we're stopping for today. What do you think, Eric?
Fords.
If it's got a 4-cylinder in it, it's a good car. 4 cylinders are.
Mine's only a 6-cylinder.
I mean, I get it.
Still not a V8.
Yeah, but yours is what? Leaking coolant. What else is wrong? It needed a throttle body.
That's just normal.
I'm just gonna make up a list of things that went wrong.
But that's why we have enough hours to be certified Ford techs, which apparently the world's hurting for certified any techs. So
yeah,
I mean, dealerships, give us a call.
If there's one thing that holds true in life, all cars are garbage.
Yeah,
that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop WatchJRGo.com for cool shirts like the one I'm wearing under this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will talk to you next time. The Equinox is Equinaut. That's what we're calling this. We need to send it in space like an Equinastronaut. I thought it was funny. 66,057. Shouldn't be broken, Chevy. I needed more time to look into that thing, and the side of the road and 34 degrees outside is not the place to be doing it. I'd love to unplug crank position, but it's got to be like crank position or timing chain stretched or timing chain guides or cam variators or something like that. It's got to be one of those things. So I guess I'm going to go home and look into the 1.5 a little bit more. This is the first time I've ever worked on that engine. It seems like super easy to work on and rock solid. I don't see how it would have any real problems at 60,000 miles, but maybe it's a thing on the Equinox. I think this is the LYK or something like that engine. So we'll find out. Like I said, let me know in the comments if you run into a crank no start on this. It's definitely not one of the connectors on top of the engine. Nothing up there. It's all been checked. It's all been reseated. And it does try to fire. It like tries to run, which is why it always comes back to timing when it tries to run. It seems like we got plenty of fuel pressure. And obviously the first thing we checked were the desired fuel pressures on the high and the low side, and we had them both. I don't think it's fuel, I don't think it's ignition, I think it's timing. We also never got a real code out of the ECU. The only thing we had from when it actually died is fuel system too rich and fuel system too lean at the same time. It's completely pointless. I mean, it kind of points at intake cam, doesn't it? I don't know. That's all I can come up with, is it seems like timing, and we've got fuel pressure, so why wouldn't it be starting? Timing, 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 time, timing, timing, time, timing, 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 time.